Good afternoon, students. I hope you are well. Today, we are going to have our first lesson on the course MBA 812 entitled Management Information Systems. So, our first topic is the introduction to organizations, management, and the network enterprise. Now, somebody may ask, what's an organization? Now, an organization can be defined as a structured entity with a defined purpose. It can also be defined as individuals working together to achieve a common goal or goals. Therefore, you can see that the key characteristics of an organization include the shared goals, which means there is a common objective. There is the structure, meaning there is a framework of roles and responsibilities among the members. There is the people as a characteristic, which means individuals who contribute skills and knowledge and perspective in the organization towards getting to the common goal. We have the resources as a characteristic. These include the tangible as well as intangible assets. And of course, there is the purpose. That's the reason for existence of the organization. This is the mission and the vision of an organization. I believe all of you work or are involved in an organization in one way or the other. Therefore, I want you to pick the organization you work for and try to identify the following. Number one, try to identify the shared goals of your organization. Try to identify the structure, that is the framework of roles and responsibilities within your organization. Also, try to identify the different types of individuals contributing different skills and perspectives within your organization. Also, try to identify the tangible as well as intangible assets within your organization. And finally, identify the purpose, the reason for which your organization exists. Now, let's move deeper into identifying the differences between organizations and groups. Now, we know that organizations have formalized interests. They have defined roles, and also their efforts are coordinated. When you look at groups, we may have shared interests. However, the groups may lack formal structure as well as coordination. Let's take, for example, you could have friends with a hobby against a company with a product to sell. Friends with a hobby may be just described as a group of friends who have a common hobby that keep them occupied. Whereas a company with a product to sell has formalized interest, has defined roles, and their efforts are coordinated. Now, I have a question. Is Chama a group or an organization? Just think about it. Is Chama a group or an organization? Now, let's look at the types of organizations. We are going to look at this in terms of the organizational structures. Now we have functional types of organizations. We have divisional types of organizations. We have matrix types of organizations. Let's look at them in details. Now, functional organizations, these are groups by specialized skills. For example, we could have human resource, could have finance as a group within the functional organization, we could have ICT as part of the functional organization, among others. Now, advantage of this is that there is efficiency in specialization. And one of the drawbacks is that there's a communication silo, meaning the responses are very slow in terms of change. When there's need for change, there's a lot of red tape, which slows the response to change. The second type is divisional structured organization. In this organization, the organizations are grouped or organized into separate divisions in terms of maybe product, in terms of geography, or in terms of the customers. For example, we could have Eastern Division, Central Division, Coastal Division, etc. A good example is Coca-Cola, which has Western bottlers. We have Lake bottlers, for example, or Equator bottlers in Kisumu. We have Rift Valley bottlers. It's the same organization but separated in terms of the geography. Then we have a matrix structured organization. This is one which combines both the functional as well as divisional structures. In terms of advantages, they have collaboration is okay, it's easier, and also there's flexibility in terms of decision making. The drawbacks include dual authority and complexity in terms of decision making. Now let's look at the role of management. Now the importance of management is that it involves getting things done through others. That's basically the meaning of management, getting things done through others. Now, one of the importance is that it helps in effectively and efficiently using the resources to achieve organizational goals. Without proper management, we may not have efficient use of resources, and therefore we may not achieve the organizational goals. Now let's look at the management framework. That's the POLC. Now the POLC framework involves the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Now planning would be setting direction and determining how to get there, setting direction for an organization, and also determining how to get to the goals of the organization, the vision and the mission. Organizing involves creating structures and allocating the resources in order to achieve the desired goals. Leading involves influencing and motivating people. Now, when you influence and motivate people, then the workers, the employees, tend to produce more and therefore achieving more for the organization. Controlling refers to the monitoring progress and making adjustments where necessary. And that means that without monitoring, you may end up losing track. You may end up moving into things that are not part of the organization's goal, the organization's vision, or the organization's mission. Now look at these examples and try to adjust them. Try to absorb them and try to internalize. Good. Now let's look at management levels. In an organization, we have different levels. We have the top management, which deals with strategic direction, long-term planning, and conceptual skills. That's the CEO of an organization. That's under top management. Then we have the middle management, which deal with strategic goals, turns them into operational plans, and also does the management of the first line managers. And we have the first line management, where they supervise and motivate non-managerial employees on a day-to-day operations. Now, what are some of the management skills? What are some of the management skills that a manager may have? Now, the key management skills may involve the technical skills. This refers to knowledge in a specific area. For example, accounting, strategic, information systems, etc. They could involve interpersonal skills, that is, communication skills, relationship building skills, as well as motivation skills. Another key management skills would involve conceptual skills. This would be strategic thinking, which involves looking at the big picture for an organization. Now, let's move on to the network enterprise. Now, we know that the current enterprises are moving from traditional hierarchy to a more flexible, to a more fluid, interconnected structures. This helps in breaking down the internal silos of communication and also promoting external partnerships. Some of the key characteristics of the new network enterprise include, number one, there is the interconnectedness among the different levels of management in an organization. Number two, there's flexibility in terms of decision making. Number three, there's collaboration among different cadres and levels of workers within the organization. There is decentralization of decision making. And the new network enterprise is technology driven. Now, what are the tools that the network enterprise of the 21st century have? Now, we realize that there is the virtual teams, meaning workers, employees can have remote collaborations within the organization or with partner organizations. The other tool is outsourcing. Now, this means contracting external organizations to handle non-core businesses, non-core services, instead of an organization having their own permanent employees. The new enterprise tools would also involve strategic alliances. This means organizations partner with other organizations under a strategic alliance, especially if they have shared goals. Now, looking at the information systems in the network enterprise, we realize that information systems is the backbone of the network enterprise. The information systems support operations, which involves automation and process streamlining. Information systems also facilitate communications for seamless interaction within organizations. Information systems also enable collaboration by offering platforms for teamwork. Information systems also support decision making through data and analytics. Information systems also enhance knowledge management by capturing and sharing information. Now, what are some of the examples of information systems in a network enterprise? Some of the examples include the ERP, that's the enterprise resource planning, which helps with the integration of business processes across different departments. We have the customer relationship management. This system interacts, connects the customers with the organization, and this leads to personalized marketing. We have supply chain management, which deals with the flow of goods and services seamlessly. We have knowledge management systems, which helps in capturing and sharing knowledge. We have data analytic systems, which deals with extracting insights from data, both internal and external, etc. Now, there's a case study that I've presented in your notes. It's about the fashion forward company, and this is a rapidly growing clothing company which has embraced a network enterprise model. The challenges include communication breakdown, quality control issues, coordination challenges, and data silos. So, after reading through the case study, please attempt these questions.